Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the command center of the EDS Hyperion, her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing 3 vessels approaching Earth's defense perimeter. Their design was unlike anything in human records, smooth, crystalline structures that seemed to bend light around them. Signal from the lead vessel. Admiral, Lieutenant Park announced, his fingers dancing across the neural interface. They're broadcasting on all standard frequencies. Translation matrix is processing. Chen nodded, maintaining her composure even as her mind raced through contingency plans. First contact protocols had been drilled into every member of the Meridian Defense Fleet, but something about this encounter felt wrong. The alien message materialized in both text and synthesized audio. Greetings, Earth vessels. We are the crystalline Concordat, peaceful traders seeking new markets for our technological marvels. Chen's neural implant buzzed with a private message from Dr. Amira Hassan, the fleet's quantum computing specialist. Admiral, detecting unusual data patterns piggybacking on their transmission. They're probing our networks. A slight smile crossed Chen's face. The aliens didn't know that Earth's apparent vulnerability was carefully crafted. Every probe they launched was being redirected into a quantum honeypot, a virtual environment designed to feed them exactly what humanity wanted them to see. Return greeting, Chen ordered. Maintain Protocol Epsilon 7. Let's see what our visitors are really after. The alien vessels drew closer, their crystalline surfaces refracting sunlight in mesmerizing patterns. To any observer, the Earth ships appeared to be running standard diplomatic protocols, their defense systems powered down in a show of trust. In reality, the Hyperion's new quantum defense grid was fully operational, masked by technology that had been developed specifically for this moment. Humanity had long suspected they weren't alone in the universe, and they had prepared accordingly. They're launching something, Lieutenant Park reported. Small devices, probably automated probes. Hundreds of them. Chen watched as the swarm of alien devices approached. Their formation was perfect, too perfect. These weren't trade envoys. They were military-grade infiltration units. Dr. Hassan, initiate Protocol Midnight, Chen commanded. Let's show our guests what happens when they mistake preparation for vulnerability. Throughout the fleet, quantum processors that had been mimicking primitive computer systems suddenly revealed their true nature. The alien probes, expecting to encounter simple binary systems, instead found themselves trapped in a quantum maze of humanity's design. Hostile intent confirmed, Park announced. The probes are attempting to transmit our defense protocols back to their ships. Are they now? Chen's smile widened slightly. Dr. Hassan, show them what they've really found. In the quantum honeypot, the alien probes discovered what appeared to be Earth's defense plans, carefully crafted disinformation that would lead the crystalline Concordat into a trap of their own making. The alien vessel's crystalline surfaces flickered with energy patterns that Hassan's team quickly identified as signs of confusion and agitation. Their probes were returning with data, but not the kind they had expected. They're powering up weapons systems, Park reported. Energy signatures increasing across all 3 vessels. Chen straightened her uniform. Right on schedule. Battle stations, all hands. Let them make the first move. Technically speaking, of course. The alien vessels launched their attack, energy beams lancing out toward what they believed were vulnerable Earth ships. Instead of impacting shields, the beams passed through sophisticated holographic projections, while the real Earth fleet emerged from quantum camouflage at optimal firing positions. Message from the Concordat flagship, Park announced. They're apologizing, claiming this was all a misunderstanding. Of course they are, Chen replied. Transmit response packet Alpha 9. Let them know exactly who they're dealing with. The packet contained a simple message. Earth had detected their hostile intent the moment they entered the solar system. Every probe they launched, every scan they performed, had been anticipated and countered. The technical specifications included in the packet demonstrated just how thoroughly humanity had prepared for this moment. Their weapons are powering down, Hassan reported. reading massive energy fluctuations in their drive systems. They're preparing to retreat. Chen nodded. Let them go. They'll spread the word. Earth isn't the primitive world they thought they'd found. We're something else entirely. As the alien vessels fled, Chen accessed the quantum archives, adding new data about the crystalline Concordat's tactics and technology. Humanity's first official contact with alien life hadn't gone as the aliens planned, but it had gone exactly as humanity had prepared for. Dr. Hassan, Chen called out, prepare a full analysis of their probe technology. I want to know everything they tried to do to our systems. Next time they come, I want us to be even more ready. The bridge crew worked efficiently, cataloging every detail of the encounter. Earth's first line of defense had held, not through superior firepower, but through careful preparation and the understanding that in space, the best weapon isn't always a weapon at all. Send word to command, Chen ordered. Operation First Light is complete. The galaxy now knows we're here, and that we're not as vulnerable as we seem. The war room deep beneath Geneva hummed with quantum processors as Fleet Admiral Marcus Singh studied the holographic representation of known crystalline Concordat space. 3 weeks had passed since their failed attempt to breach Earth's defenses, and humanity was ready to take the next step. The honeypot data is proving invaluable, Dr. Hassan's avatar explained, her form shimmering as quantum entanglement maintained real-time communication across the solar system. Every probe they sent revealed more about their network architecture. They're advanced, but they have a critical weakness. They think linearly. Singh nodded, watching as the simulation displayed the Concordat's predicted response patterns. And we don't. Show me Ghost Protocol's current status. The hologram shifted, revealing a complex web of quantum infiltration pathways. Hundreds of autonomous AI systems, each one designed to think and adapt like a human mind, were already seated throughout the Concordat's communications network. They hadn't hacked the alien systems. They'd let the Concordat's own probes carry the infiltration packages back home. Our ghost AIs have established themselves in their tertiary systems, Hassan continued. They think they're running routine maintenance protocols. In reality, we're mapping their entire military infrastructure. The best part, they're so convinced of their technological superiority, they haven't even noticed. Singh's neural implant pulsed with incoming data from the quantum defense grid. The Concordat was mobilizing, just as predicted. Their failed attack on Earth had wounded their pride, and they were preparing to return in force. Status of Operation Mirror, he asked, accessing classified feeds from deep space sensors humanity had secretly placed throughout nearby systems. Commander Yuki Tanaka's avatar materialized, her expression confident. The quantum entanglement network is fully operational, sir. We can track their fleet movements in real time, and they still haven't detected our QE boys. Every time they scan for conventional transmission signals, our tech looks like background radiation. The holograms updated, showing the gathering Concordat fleet. Their crystalline ships were beautiful, but their tactical formations were rigid, predictable. They still thought they were dealing with a primitive species that had gotten lucky. Begin Phase 2, Singh ordered. Let's show them how humans wage psychological warfare. Throughout Concordat space, their communication networks began experiencing subtle anomalies. Nothing obvious enough to raise alarms, just enough to seed doubt. Military coordinates would be off by fractions, maintenance logs would show impossible timestamps, and sensor readings would fluctuate within normal parameters, but always in ways that made them question their own technology. Their response patterns are shifting, Hassan reported, monitoring the quantum feeds. They're starting to doubt their tactical algorithms. Some ships are running triple redundancy checks on basic systems. Singh allowed himself a small smile. Humans have been practicing deception since we first learned to hunt. We've just gotten better at it. Status of the Ghost Fleet. The hologram shifted again, showing Earth's true defensive capabilities. While the Concordat prepared their visible armada, humanity's quantum-cloaked ships were already in position, their crews trained for this moment. Ghost Fleet is ready, Tanaka confirmed. Every ship is equipped with the new quantum phase drives. We can move through their formation before they even realize we're there. The only question is, do we show them everything we can do, or just enough to make them reconsider? Neither, Singh replied. We show them exactly what they expect to see, then we show them something impossible. Dr. Hassan, initiate the Babel protocol. Hassan's avatar grinned. With pleasure, sir. Quantum virus deploying now. Throughout Concordat space, their translation matrices began experiencing subtle shifts. Every time they analyzed human communications, the context would be slightly different. Military terms would be translated as diplomatic overtures, then shift back. Their own tactical orders would arrive with varying interpretations. They're responding exactly as the simulations predicted, Tanaka reported. Their command structure relies too heavily on perfect information. Introduce uncertainty, and the entire system begins to fracture. Singh finished. Maintain current operations. Let them see the chaos we can create without firing a single shot. The quantum feeds showed increasing confusion in the Concordat fleet. Ships were holding position, waiting for clarification on orders that seemed to change meaning with each transmission. Their rigid military hierarchy, once their strength, was becoming their weakness. Sir, Hassan's avatar interrupted, we're detecting quantum fluctuations from deep in their territory. They're attempting to develop their own quantum communication system. Singh nodded. Right on schedule. They think they're catching up, but they're actually following the path we laid out for them. Every breakthrough they make takes them further into our quantum maze. The War Room's hologram updated one final time, showing the full scope of Operation Ghost Protocol. The Concordat wasn't just fighting an enemy they could see. They were trapped in a web of quantum manipulation, their every response calculated and countered before they even made it. Send word to Admiral Chen, Singh ordered. The Ghost Fleet is in position. Phase 3 begins at her command. Let's show the Concordat what happens when they mistake humanity's patience for weakness. As the quantum networks hummed with encrypted commands, humanity's true offensive began, not with weapons, but with the systematic deconstruction of an enemy's certainty in their own superiority. The ghost in their machine wasn't a virus or an AI. It was humanity's capacity for strategic thinking that transcended the linear paths of conventional warfare. Deep within the quantum command center of the Ghost Fleet, Admiral Chen watched as Operation Ghost Protocol entered its final phase. The holographic display showed the Concordat fleet in disarray, their perfectly ordered formations now fragmented by uncertainty and conflicting orders. Quantum web is at full saturation, Dr. Hassan reported through her quantum-linked avatar. Every crystalline ship in their fleet is now part of our shadow network. They're transmitting more disinformation to themselves than we ever could. Chen studied the tactical display, watching the patterns emerge. The Concordat's response to uncertainty had been to increase communication, sending more orders, more clarifications, more requests for confirmation. Each transmission carried quantum seeds deeper into their network, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of confusion. Show me the psychological impact analysis, Chen commanded. The hologram shifted, displaying stress patterns throughout the enemy fleet. Their crystalline technology, designed to maintain perfect harmony, was creating feedback loops of doubt. Their entire command structure is based on the assumption of perfect information, Hassan explained. By introducing quantum uncertainty into their networks, we've turned their greatest strength into a vulnerability. They can't trust their own data anymore. The tactical display updated, showing new energy signatures from the Concordat fleet. Their crystalline ships were activating weapons systems, but without clear targets or confirmed orders, they were merely adding to their own confusion. They're trying to purge their systems, Lieutenant Park reported from his station, attempting to isolate and eliminate what they think is a conventional cyber attack. Should we stop them? Chen smiled. No. Let them try. Every system they purge creates new pathways for our quantum infiltration. They're fighting shadows while we walk through their front door. Throughout the Concordat fleet, ship after ship reported successful system purges. Their commanders relaxed, believing they had eliminated the human interference. In reality, they had just activated the next phase of humanity's attack. Ghost fleet units in position. Tanaka's voice came through the quantum link. All ships report ready for synchronized quantum phase shift. Chen nodded. Begin the demonstration. Let's show them what humanity's been hiding. Across the battlefield, Earth's ghost fleet rippled into visible existence, not at the edges of the conflict, but directly within the Concordat formation. Hundreds of ships, their hulls covered in quantum reactive materials that had rendered them completely invisible, now revealed themselves in perfect attack positions. Message from the Concordat flagship, Park announced. They're demanding to know how we bypassed their sensor network. Send them the technical specifications, Chen ordered, but only the ones from 5 years ago. Let them understand just how far behind they really are. The data packet transmitted to the Concordat contained detailed explanations of quantum phase technology that humanity had already improved upon multiple times. The alien commanders would soon realize that humans hadn't just matched their technological level, they had surpassed it in secret. Their fleet is attempting to regroup, Hassan reported, but their command channels are still compromised. Every order they send creates 3 different interpretations. Their ships are starting to act independently out of sheer frustration. Chen activated the fleet-wide quantum communication system. Her voice would reach every ship in both fleets simultaneously. Carried by the very network the Concordat had unknowingly helped build. To all Concordat vessels, she began, you are experiencing the effects of human quantum warfare technology. Your systems are not malfunctioning. They are operating exactly as we intend them to. Every attempt to restore control only extends our influence further. The holographic display showed the immediate impact of her words. Some Concordat ships attempted to raise shields, others tried to jump to faster-than-light travel, but their coordinated defense had been shattered by uncertainty and fear. We could have destroyed your fleet the moment you entered our space, Chen continued. Instead, we chose to demonstrate why attacking Earth would be your greatest mistake. Your technology is impressive, but you fail to understand a fundamental truth about humanity. We don't just adapt to threats. We transform them into advantages. Throughout the Concordat fleet, weapons powered down as commanders realized the futility of their position. They were trapped in a web of quantum manipulation so subtle and complex that even their advanced AI systems couldn't detect where reality ended and human interference began. They're standing down, Park reported, a note of pride in his voice. All Concordat ships are powering down primary systems. Chen nodded, satisfied. Transmit final data packet. Let them understand exactly what they're dealing with. The packet contained one simple message. Everything the Concordat had experienced was just one facet of humanity's defensive capabilities. They hadn't seen the experimental weapons, the advanced AI systems, or the true extent of Earth's quantum technology. They had seen exactly what humanity wanted them to see. Enough to understand, but not enough to replicate. The shadow web has served its purpose, Chen announced to her crew. Humanity's place in the galaxy is secure, not through brute force, but through the artful application of intelligence, preparation, and the understanding that true power lies in knowing when not to use it. The crystalline Concordat's high command gathered in their central nexus, their crystalline forms reflecting the chaos of incoming data streams. What had begun as a simple operation to subjugate a primitive species had evolved into their worst strategic nightmare. Supreme Commander Vix Tall's crystalline structure pulsed with agitation as the latest reports filtered through their collective consciousness. Impossible. They've penetrated systems we didn't even know existed. Every defensive measure we implement seems to have been anticipated centuries ago. The quantum hologram at the center of their command chamber showed the true extent of humanity's infiltration. What they had initially dismissed as simple technical glitches had been the first signs of a comprehensive takeover of their entire network. The humans hadn't just beaten their security. They had transformed it. New transmission from the Earth fleet, a subordinate announced, their crystalline form vibrating with uncertainty. The message appeared in their shared consciousness, causing ripples of disbelief through the assembled command staff. Admiral Chen's image materialized in their command center, but not through their own communication systems. She was using their private quantum network, a network they had believed to be unhackable. By now, Chen's voice resonated through their crystalline chamber. You've realized that your understanding of quantum mechanics was incomplete. We let you believe you held technological superiority. The reality is quite different. Vixtal watched in horror as their most secure systems began displaying their own classified files, research that proved humans had been monitoring them for decades, learning their weaknesses, and preparing countermeasures for technologies the Concordat hadn't even developed yet. Your entire species thinks in crystalline patterns, Chen continued. Beautiful, ordered, predictable. We studied how your cognitive processes mirror your physical form. Every strategy you devise follows the same geometric progression. Did you never wonder why we chose to reveal ourselves when we did? The hologram shifted, showing Earth's defensive grid expanding far beyond their solar system. What the Concordat had thought was a single systems defense network was actually a small part of a vast, interconnected web of quantum technologies that spanned hundreds of light years. Launch the purge protocols. Vixtal commanded. Sever all connections, revert to isolated systems. But even as the order crystallized in their network, human quantum algorithms had already anticipated and countered it. Each attempt to isolate their systems only activated new pathways of human influence. They weren't fighting a war anymore. They were participating in a demonstration. Your ships are not under attack, Chen explained, her image stable even as the Concordat's own systems flickered. Your weapons remain under your control. We simply wanted you to understand the fundamental difference between our species. You build walls. We build doors. Throughout Concordat space, their mighty crystalline ships hung motionless, their crews watching in stunned silence as centuries of assumed technological superiority crumbled. Human vessels phased in and out of normal space at will, demonstrating capabilities that the Concordat's best scientists had deemed theoretically impossible. We could disable your fleet, Chen continued. We could rewrite your navigation systems, scramble your quantum matrices, or simply shut down your power cores. Instead, we're offering you a choice. The hologram transformed one final time, displaying a star map that showed hundreds of human outposts and installations throughout what the Concordat had believed was their exclusive territory. They hadn't been expanding into unclaimed space. They had been building in humanity's shadow all along. Your species has great potential. Chen's voice carried a note of genuine respect. Your crystalline technology, properly understood, could revolutionize several fields of science. We're offering you partnership, not subjugation. The galaxy is vast, and humanity has no desire for empire. Vixtal's form pulsed with the closest approximation of a sigh their species could manage. You never needed our technology. This entire conflict, it was a test. Not a test, Chen corrected. An introduction. Humanity needed to know if your species could adapt, could acknowledge when your assumptions were wrong. Your response here determines whether we proceed as partners or neighbors. Throughout the Concordat Command Center, the crystalline leaders began a rapid exchange of thoughts and analyses. Their perfect, ordered world had been shattered not by violence, but by the revelation that their understanding of reality itself had been incomplete. Terms. Vixtal managed to ask, their crystalline structure still struggling to process the magnitude of what had occurred. Simple, Chen replied. Acknowledge humanity's sovereignty. Engage in fair trade. Share knowledge freely. In return, we'll help you understand the quantum technologies you've been approaching from the wrong direction for centuries. As the Concordat leadership debated their response, Earth's Ghost Fleet maintained their positions, their quantum phase technology, a constant reminder that humanity had won this conflict long before the first shot was fired. They had defeated an enemy not through superior firepower, but by understanding them so completely that conflict itself became unnecessary. 6 months after the Concordat's surrender, Admiral Chen stood in Earth's new Quantum Diplomatic Center, watching crystalline and human representatives work side by side. The vast chamber hummed with the combined power of both species' technologies, creating interfaces that allowed their vastly different forms of consciousness to interact seamlessly. The integration is proceeding faster than projected, Dr. Hassan reported, her quantum avatar materializing beside Chen. Their crystalline computing matrices, combined with our quantum algorithms, are producing results that neither species could have achieved alone. Through the chamber's quantum-enhanced windows, Chen could see the first joint human Concordat vessel taking shape in Earth's orbit. Its hybrid design incorporated both crystalline technology and human innovation, creating something entirely new in the galaxy. They're adapting remarkably well, Chen observed, watching a group of Concordat scientists eagerly studying human quantum theory. For a species that once thought in purely crystalline patterns, they've embraced chaos theory with surprising enthusiasm. That's because we didn't just defeat them. Admiral Singh's voice came through the quantum link. We showed them a better way. Their rigid thinking wasn't a fundamental trait. It was a cultural limitation we helped them overcome. The diplomatic center's main display activated, showing the unprecedented changes spreading throughout Concordat space. Their once rigid society was transforming, incorporating human concepts of adaptability and innovation while maintaining their unique crystalline beauty. Latest reports from the Joint Exploration Fleet, Hassan announced. 3 new spacefaring civilizations contacted in the past month alone. The Concordat's diplomatic expertise, combined with our psychological insights, is proving to be an unbeatable combination. Chen smiled, remembering the tense moments when victory had hung in the balance. And each new contact strengthens the quantum network. We're not just building alliances, we're creating a new form of galactic civilization. The display shifted to show the vast quantum web that now connected human and Concordat space. What had begun as a defensive measure had evolved into the foundation of an interstellar community. Ships of both species moved freely through each other's territory, their crews working together to explore the unknown. We've received the analysis of the Concordat's historical database, Hassan continued. Their encounters with other crystalline species always ended in either conquest or isolation. They never imagined cooperation could make both sides stronger. Through the quantum link, images flowed of joint research projects, shared discoveries, and technological breakthroughs that would have been impossible for either species alone. Humanity's creativity combined with Concordat precision was opening doors neither had known existed. The galaxy's watching, Singh added. Our handling of the Concordat situation has attracted attention. 3 more spacefaring races have requested first contact protocols. They've seen what we achieved without destruction, and they want to understand how. Chen accessed the quantum network, feeling the pulse of this new interstellar civilization. Human adaptability had transformed potential enemies into valuable allies, not through force but through understanding. The victory hadn't just been in the battle, it had been in what came after. Quantum alert, Hassan announced suddenly. Long-range sensors detecting unusual activity at the galaxy's edge. Initial analysis suggests artificial construction on a massive scale. Chen's expression remained calm, but her mind was already racing through possibilities. New challenge. New opportunity, Hassan corrected, grinning. Whatever it is, we're not facing it alone anymore. The Concordat's already offering their expertise, and our joint fleet is ready for deployment. As alerts sounded throughout the quantum network, Chen felt a familiar surge of anticipation. Humanity had proven itself not just capable of defending Earth, but of transforming the very nature of interstellar relations. Whatever waited at the galaxy's edge would face not a single species, but a unified force of human ingenuity and Concordat precision. Send word to the fleet, Chen ordered. Initiate first contact protocols. Let's show the galaxy what cooperation really means. The quantum network hummed with activity as human and crystalline minds worked in concert, preparing for their next great adventure. In the end, humanity's greatest victory hadn't been defeating the Concordat, it had been showing them, and the galaxy, that there were better ways to grow than through conflict. As the joint fleet prepared for departure, Chen reflected on how far they'd come. Humanity had taken its place among the stars not through conquest or submission, but by being uniquely human, adaptable, innovative, and always ready to transform an enemy into an ally. The real victory, she realized, wasn't in the protocols or the technology. It was in proving that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in its weapons or defenses, but in its ability to imagine and create a better future, even in the face of potential destruction. That was the true victory protocol, not the end of a conflict, but the beginning of something greater.